This is game 5, and we're tied at 2 apiece. And as we said moments ago, Doug, the pressure is firmly on the Phoenix Suns, the #1 overall seed in the NBA playoffs.
Well, Kevin, you can see statistically what happens to the game 5 winner, what happens, they go on and win 84% of the time. So Phoenix knows they win tonight. They've got 2 chances and a game 7 at home if they need be. They lose tonight, they've got to go to Dallas hoping to win game 6 to get back home for that game 7 they've worked so very hard for all season long. Kevin, I think it'll be very interesting as this game gets started. I thought in game 4, Phoenix came out very flat. They did not play with the emotion necessary to make them the team that they played all season long. Dallas played like a team that needed the game more. Tonight, Phoenix Suns must play with a great sense of desperation, but under control and with great efficiency.
Our officials tonight, Steve Javie, Mike Callahan, and Tom Washington, and we are underway, and the Mavericks with their point guard Jason Terry to Josh Howard to Dirk Nowitzki and into Dampier. This is what they want to establish early, but he fanned from point-blank range. Sean Marion the other way. And they got Dampier on Nash. And Dampier looking out of the side of his stance there saying, where's my help? And this is Sean Marion for 3.
Well, already you can see when Nash gets in the paint, any help he kicks out. That was missing in game 4.
And Jason Terry swashbuckles inside for 2. Marion again. Nowitzki with the rebound.
I think Dallas has to play here with a quiet efficiency, Kevin. They cannot get caught up into a frantic pace. Run when it's there. When it's not, throw that ball in the post. Get high percentage shots like that.
Got a couple right inside. And Steve Nash, who leads the NBA playoffs with assists, and it looks like Jimmy Jackson stepped out of bounds.
You know, just to follow up with the Suns, the defensive rebounding that Charles and Kenny were talking about is so important because it's what triggers the running game. You cannot consistently run in this game taking the ball out of the basket. So you play good defense. Defense does not stop till you rebound the ball. Then when you run, that's when Marion and Stoudemire are effective, and also Quentin Richards spotting up with the threes as well as Jimmy Jackson.
Marion is on Nowitzki. We have seen this matchup the entire playoffs. In this series, Nowitzki. And a rebound by Stoudemire, and this is what Dallas doesn't want to happen and what Phoenix does want to happen. Controlling the defensive glass, and Nash cashing in at the other end.
The open floor, he goes right to the 15-footer, pulls up and knocks it down. And here's Jason Terry right back. So I think that shot is too quick because this is what it leads to right here.
2-on-1, Marion, Richardson. Sean Marion with the bad pass from Quentin Richardson. And here comes Michael Finley.
Jason Terry's got to pull that ball back. That was too quick of a shot.
Jackson is guarding Finley, and Howard is wide open. Coming off a 29-point game 4, he nails a 3 right there.
He had a 30-point game in the regular season in here, Kevin, so he likes America West Arena and likes playing against the Suns.
And really emerging in this is second playoffs.
And it's really been his offensive rebounding that really has hurt the Suns. You see Stoudemire a little anxious. He did not get 1 dunk in game 4 after getting 8 in game 3. But the fans really would love to see him get one of those explosive plays early in this game.
So would his teammates.
Absolutely. That lifts their spirits. It's sort of like walking down the street with the bully. You feel a little bit better about yourself.
Richardson comes out on Howard. And stopping on a dime, finds 2 inside.
He's been so active. He's starting out with Steve Nash. They want to keep a bigger player on Nash. Let Jason Terry guard Quentin Richardson because the Suns really don't look to post him up.
Screen by Stoudemire. Pick and roll with Nash. Rebound by Richardson on the offensive glass. Nash for 3.
Well, he put on some kind of shooting demonstration on Sunday. 20 of 28. I thought he passed up 4 or 5 open shots. Thought he got self-conscious. Felt like he was shooting too much. Mike D'Antoni said, they give you those shots tonight, you take them. If you have to take 30 shots, you do what's necessary to get your team to win.
And then Nash was making some bad passes. That's the 9 turnovers as Terry takes it in the lane for Dallas.
Well, he's such an unselfish player. He was worried about Stoudemire not being involved, Marion and these guys. He was forcing passes into traffic. So he had 5 assists and 9 turnovers.
Howard on Nash, and it's out to Quentin Richardson. Nice defense on the perimeter by Jason Terry. Nash over Howard for 3. That was a wrinkle that Dallas instituted game 4, putting a taller defender on Steve Nash.
They'll try to keep him out of the lane. Plus, they don't want Terry guarding him. They want to keep a bigger guy. They'll come in with Darrell Armstrong. He'll get up the floor, pressure him. You'll see Finley guard him a little bit. They don't want to play Nash with a smaller player.
Dallas has hit 4 of their first 8 shots. Howard, Dampier, lost it inside. So both touches inside for Dampier produce nothing. And here is Amari Stoudemire. Oh, rejected by Dampier.
That's why they want Dampier in the game, because that big body can be effective in there, Kevin. You pointed out when he plays 30 minutes, they've won both games. When he's been in foul trouble, they've lost them both.
We'll switch on defense now. It's Richardson on Terry. And he cashes in on that.
Dallas is off, I think, to a very good start in a game with this kind of energy in this crowd. They've done a nice job of staying in the scheme of things. They're getting very good shots.
That's a good point. If they can weather the early going of the emotion of Phoenix, and we mentioned before the pressure on them, a rebound by Howard on the Nash missed shot. Michael Finley, boy, he has been so up and down in this series, and that's a good sign from him early.
You let him go left and shoot the ball, he's about a 75% shooter on those kind of open shots.
Nice pass inside on the alley-oop to Quentin Richardson, and the assist to Steve Nash, who comes up with his second feed tonight.
See, the Suns really don't like to post Quentin Richardson a lot, because what it does when they post him, it takes their best shooter off the perimeter.
We're approaching the 6.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Both point guards have scored well. 6 for Terry, 8 for Nash. Right now we're tied at 13. The shot clock here, Doug, at 3, and Dirk Nowitzki with the rejection by Sean Marion. And a whistle by referee Mike Callahan.
As an inadvertent whistle, actually. I think he thought it was a shot clock violation. There's 1 second to go on the clock, so he's just going to give the ball to the Suns, sideline out of bounds. Now, that hurts the Suns a little bit because it stops the play, and they'd like to keep it moving.
Good point. Phoenix is at 5 of their first 10 shots. Amari Stoudemire. Stackhouse. And quickly out now to Jason Terry. And Nowitzki was not the one to last touch it. It was deflected off a Sun.
See, early in the game, you see Jason Terry and Josh Howard off to terrific starts. The Mavericks shooting 55%, so not a good sign right now for the Suns defensively.
And they go inside, and this is Stackhouse trying to carve his way for 2, and fouled on the play and hit with Quentin Richardson's tag. That's the first on Richardson. That is the first foul of the game.
Kevin, just talk a little bit about the pace of the game here for Dallas. They want to run. They want to be able to get up and down and run. You see Jerry Stackhouse's numbers. I thought he was coming off the best game of the postseason the other day at 22 points, very efficient, got to the offensive boards, got to the free throw line, shot a high percentage, giving him a lot of energy. But you get to the free throw line, you throw the ball on the post, you shoot a high percentage, you don't turn the ball over, you offensive rebound, all the things that Dallas did in game 4. That's why Nash had to do so much. There was no running game for them. You see, here's the double team.
Nice knock away by Jason Terry. And Dallas comes the other way, led by 32-year-old Michael Finley. And here's Stackhouse for 3. And a big hit by Stackhouse off the bench, 1 of 1. And hitting a couple free throws, he's got 5.
Actually shooting a better percentage from 3 than he is from the field right now. So he's got that three-pointer locked in pretty well.
They tried the pick and roll right there, and Dallas's defense pretty good.
You can see what they're doing. They want Nash to shoot jumpers.
They'll do it.
Keep him out of the paint.
Jimmy Jackson for 3.
That's 4 threes already in the game, though. 2 for Nash, 1 for Marion, 1 for Jimmy Jackson. Offensive rebounds. I heard Steve Kerr talking about it last night. Offensive rebounds create such wide open three-point shots because you don't have anybody to guard. That ball's kicked out to the perimeter, and that's when you get those good looks.
Here's Stackhouse again, dancing on Jackson. Stackhouse again continues his good start, taking the place of Dampier at the other end. There goes Marion. Now that was interesting because Phoenix runs on a made basket by Dallas.
Well, they're going to run on every occasion, but see what happened. Dallas ran down the floor that time. They didn't see the basketball. Dirk never saw the ball, so the ball was on top of him before he even knew where it was.
But Jackson's going to chase Stackhouse, and here comes a drive inside by Terry. A rejection by Stoudemire.
Look at the open three that it leads to.
Richardson.
That's the kind of shots that Quentin Richardson feasts off.
Rebounding is even so far. Dirk Nowitzki finding a lot of white jerseys around him as he corkscrewed inside, and there is a Phoenix foul. And that goes on Quentin Richardson for the second time for the Phoenix Suns.
Let's watch Jerry Stackhouse. He scores. Keep your eye on Dirk Nowitzki running down the floor, number 41. Has no vision at all on the basketball. The ball is thrown and Marion is dunking the basketball. You've got to get back below the level of the basketball. You almost have to be like a defensive back when you play against Phoenix.
That's good.
You got to sprint to the half court. You got to turn and you got to start identifying the basketball where it is to take those quick passes up the floor away from them.
And like a defensive back, Doug, he uses the sideline to his advantage, trying to push that receiver, or in this case, the player, the wing guy out.
You don't run back into the paint and come out. You get back to that three-point line, then you fan your defense out from there when you play against a team that loves to shoot threes like the Suns do.
Barbosa's come in for the first time for the Phoenix Suns. He's taken the place of Richardson, who has picked up 2 quick ones, and 36-year-old Darrell Armstrong has come in for the first time, taking the place of Terry.
Now Armstrong is in there to be a pest, to try to use his quickness against Nash, to pressure him, to try to wear him down. But Nash is physically stronger than him, so you saw him that time just get his shoulder on him and knocked him back off his heels. Watch this now. Just a little bump by Nash right there. Watch what it does to Darrell Armstrong. So Nash can get where he wants to get on the floor if he just takes his time.
It's tough to find any kind of point guard defensively that will match the effervescence, the energy of Nash. And here he goes inside. Spoon feeds Stoudemire. That's a little bit of that passion, that mojo that he creates when he slams it inside.
I played with a guy with Daryl Dawkins. You get him a couple dunks, he would screen, rebound, block shots all night long. His eyes would get real big. You got to get those big guys dunks.
Finley had 2 Suns run right at him. Here's a 3 by Armstrong. And a rebound by Josh Howard, rejected by Marion. Howard perseveres and is fouled as he dives inside.
Now you're going to see the philosophy of Dallas when Barbosa comes on the floor. They immediately go with the big lineup. They got Darrell Armstrong on the floor who's playing Nash. So whoever Barbosa's playing, they're going to go in the low post. And they're going to run their offense out of the low post. That's why you get double teams, open shots, and offensive rebounds. Mike D'Antoni told us before the game, Barbosa's got to do a better job on his post defense because the more they double team, the more it puts him in peril to give up second shots.
Sean Marion picks up his first foul. And Dampier comes back in the game for the Dallas Mavericks. One of the great things that Avery Johnson, the coach of the Mavericks, has done in the series against Houston round 1 and the series against Phoenix round 2, they've been very successful in their response to what the opponent has done.
Well, and what they've done, they've been a resilient team. I don't think anybody expected them when they lost those 2 home games to Houston to be able to go on the road and win 2, especially in the fourth quarter of game 3 when they were down 8 points. I mean, they could have been swept easily.
Here's Nash with Dampier falling back on defense.
See, Steve Nash will make 8 out of 10 of those shots. They're going to have to do a better job or he'll have another 40-point night.
Here's Stackhouse and Marion defending.
Stackhouse has got it on cruise control here tonight. He is in one of those offensive rhythms. Now, this is a guy who's capable of throwing up a 50-point night. He's done that in his career. Now, maybe not at this stage, but he's been a 50-point scorer.
Stoudemire just hit a great screen on Armstrong, gets the miss inside, and there is a foul. And Stoudemire, who takes more free throw attempts than any player in the playoffs, will be at the line. Dampier picks up foul number 1 for the Dallas Mavericks.
Kevin, one of the things that's sort of running true now in games 2, 3, 4, and now in 5, Dallas has gotten off to very good first quarters, and they've shot the ball very well.
We're in the first quarter, and Dallas leads by 3, led by the 9 points off the bench of Stackhouse. We know what the Maverick bench did in game 4, Doug. Very, very good against Phoenix.
Well, this is what Dallas is hoping for as this series goes on. They're hoping if they can get it to 6, 7 games here, that they have the chance with their deep bench to take advantage of the fact that Joe Johnson is out. When Mike D'Antoni has to go to his bench now, Leandro Barbosa has been struggling. They have not gotten much from McCarty, Stephen Hunter. Jerry Stackhouse off to a great start here tonight, 9 points. And so when Avery Johnson goes to that bench, he goes to be able to get great production. When Mike D'Antoni goes to his bench, he goes to buy time. That's a big difference.
So at the free throw line is Amari Stoudemire. Dampier is in with Stackhouse, Howard, Armstrong, and Finley. And no Nowitzki. It is interesting to see the dynamic that is out there when Dallas has Dampier and no Nowitzki, or Nowitzki and no Dampier.
Well, Avery Johnson was talking before the game. He said one of the things that happens is when Dampier gets in foul trouble, when I want to go to 4 smalls, I have to have Nowitzki on the floor. That means he ends up playing 46 minutes, which is too much. So if Dampier stays out of foul trouble like he is now, you can rest Dirk, you can have the 4 perimeters out there with him, and you've got somebody protecting the basket. So now then you rest Dampier and come back with Dirk. So that's why it's important to keep him out of foul trouble.
Stephen Hunter has come in for the Phoenix Suns for the first time with Barbosa and Marion and Stoudemire along with Steve Nash. Here's Finley posting up on Barbosa. Dampier's missed a couple quick close-in shots every time he has touched it in this first quarter.
Steve Nash almost came down before he got rid of that ball.
Stoudemire.
They'll live with that. They want him shooting jump shots. No layups, no free throws, no dunks. Make him make shots.
Nash is 10, leading all scorers. Howard got a Dampier screen. Rebound by Sean Marion. Michael Finley leads Dallas with 9. And here is Barbosa. And Howard gave him all the room he needed to fire. Rebound by Howard.
Well, the Suns need Barbosa to have a couple good plays happen. He really gets down on himself quickly. He needs a confident game tonight. Stackhouse in the post.
Against Nash.
Dampier's fumbled about 4 balls inside that should have been field goals.
5 lead changes, 3 ties in this first quarter, with the Mavericks leading 1 time by as many as 5. Suns have led 1 time by as many as 3. Barbosa.
That's a very positive sign for the young guy. Looks like he got hit in the mouth on the last possession. His lower lip was bleeding. They're trying to post him up. Let's see if they go back to Finley in the post. Looks like maybe a screen roll here with Armstrong.
Stackhouse 3 of 4. And the shot clock showing 3 against Nash.
Jerry Stackhouse just way too big, but here again is the retaliation basket.
A great play by Stackhouse to knock it offline. Armstrong the other way for the Dallas Mavericks, and Michael Finley against his teammate, former teammate Steve Nash. That's a throwaway with the Hunter interception. And Nash gets it right back with a good defensive play from behind for Dallas.
Big guy, you did a good job. Pick the ball up. You want to get out on the floor playing. You don't want to do that handling the basketball, making errors. You're on a short leash over there right now. Make good things happen.
Both teams have a foul to give in the final 38 seconds of this first quarter.
2 for 1. Got it. 2 for 1 here, Kev. If he can get a shot off.
Nash and Stephen Hunter.
Boy, Steve Nash looked at Stephen Hunter and said, slow down, take your time. It's like he's trying to make so much happen in a short period of time. He's got to relax, make some good minutes happen, but the more he tries this hard, the more difficult it's going to be for him to perform.
1 second difference, game clock and shot clock winding down the first quarter.
There's a double team and it frees up a 3-point shot.
Nash with the rebound. Armstrong slowed that up, and that time will run out in the first quarter will come to a close. Nowitzki 0 of 2. Dampier 0 of 2. Stoudemire 1 of 5. That's how the big men are. Here's where you now concentrate on the little guys. Nash has put in 10, and Stackhouse with the game-high 11 off the Dallas bench. The game was tied at 25. Dallas scores the last 4 points of the first quarter to lead by 4 at the end of 1. It's the 4th consecutive game that the Mavericks have led after the first quarter, up by 4 with Doug Collins and Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. Tonight we were wondering which Eric Dampier would show up, but from point-blank range a couple of times, the big center's coming off a double-double in Game 4, a Dallas win, has struggled inside. So Dampier has started 0 of 2 in 9 minutes, no points, and 3 rebounds for the Mavs.
Well, he really had a chance for about 3 dunks there early in the game. Lost 1 and missed 2 very close shots. But again, Kevin, when he plays well in the first half, you can see what this team does. And the 2 wins, 11 of 12, 11 points in the half, 7 rebounds, stayed out of foul trouble. And tonight he's done a pretty good job if he would just catch the ball and finish. But just the fact that he's on the floor right now gives another big body for the Mavericks to have out there to keep Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion away from that rim. Marion and Stoudemire are combined 3 for 11. Stoudemire had one dunk, but it wasn't of that ferocious variety, more of a little baby dunk than what we normally see. Here's a little bit of an unforced error. Dallas comes out with a little trap, and Phoenix gets a little bit careless, turns the ball over.
Nash is on the bench to begin the second quarter. Barbosa is in there with Jackson, Richardson, Stoudemire, and Marion. Dallas begins with newly instated Marquise Daniels, Howard, Jason Terry, Dampier with the ball, Nowitzki over there in the corner at the top of your screen. Daniels, and no one comes on him. And inside to Dampier, another close-in shot missed by Eric Dampier. Barbosa.
He knows Steve Nash now. Let's see how smoothly the offense runs. 3 seconds.
Yep, inside. 3-second violation.
Maury Stoudemire thought the shot was going to be taken, and Dallas did a nice job of running them off the shot. Gets caught in the lane, but let's see now if Phoenix can run their offense and get the shots they want to get. So Mike D'Antoni can give Steve Nash some rest.
Nowitzki's got 2, and this is over Stoudemire.
Tough shot.
Suns have had 2 trips and 2 turnovers, and almost a third right there as we start this second quarter. Maury Stoudemire, 1 of 5. Jackson for 3. Tipped nicely inside by Josh Howard, who seems to get his hand on the ball all the time.
Well, he's aggressive. He's got long arms. He's got a very good knack for the basketball. Here's Dampier once again. Oh, he's had about 4 or 5 opportunities around the basket. This time, the foul is going to be called, and he'll shoot 2 free throws. But we're going to have to wait. Here's Mike D'Antoni. I knew he wasn't going to last very long, about a minute and a half. He cannot like what he saw from Phoenix on the offensive end with Steve Nash resting. Maury Stoudemire thought that he tied up Dampier on that shot, but the foul was called.
Here is Dampier at the free throw line for the Dallas Mavericks. Coming up tomorrow, the playoffs continue on ABC, the Pistons and Pacers. Detroit up 3-2. Spurs and Seattle against the Sonics. That's on ESPN. Friday, Suns and Mavericks, Game 6, 9 o'clock on ESPN. It seems, and I think the numbers would bear this out, that as this series has gone on, Dallas has gotten to the free throw line more and more every game.
They've been more patient. They've gone away from taking that quick early jump shot. They've moved the ball from side to side, come back, made the extra pass, getting the shot, and they're doing a better job driving the ball to the basket. That's what happens. You put the pressure on the defense.
Steve Nash. Dampier may have altered the shot. Hunter is back in the game. Multiple tries, nothing to show for it. Dampier rips down his 7th rebound. Jason Terry. And a rebound by Sean Marion, one of the top rebounders in the playoffs. He has 3. Dallas on a 7-0 run. Jackson against Nowitzki. And Dampier altered that shot and altered that pass. And finally, Marion pumps it in.
See, Dampier being inside is a big man. He's got long arms. We've seen a couple deflections, a block. That's why Avery Johnson is adamant about him staying on the floor. You know, maybe his numbers are not going to blow you away, but he prevents the Suns from just going to the basket and getting easy layups.
Played a lot of minutes already, has Dampier. 11 minutes. He's only missed a couple on the bench. Just getting the rest. Here's Dirk Nowitzki. Inside to Howard. Dirk Nowitzki with the assist, his first tonight.
Again, Josh Howard just being active, Kevin. He's just making his presence felt. Really no plays to run from other than maybe a post-up when he has a smaller player. Now he's back guarding Steve Nash once again like he opened the game.
Howard, who is defending, has 10 points. Here's Nash off that 48-point Game 4 performance in Dallas. Nash has a game-high 12. Mavericks 42% from the field to start. Dampier against Hunter. The shot clock at 4 for Terry. Tapped by Dampier.
Second shots. Kevin, we talked about it. Games 3 and 4. Dallas 40 offensive rebounds. Suns got away in Game 3, give up 24 offensive rebounds and still won the game. That will not happen tonight.
Here comes Phoenix, 37%. Richardson scoops up. I think Marion tapped it in. He did.
But see, that's where Marion is at his best, outrunning. So you don't have to run the plays for him. He'll get 20-something points by being able to get on the offensive board, running the floor, getting out of the lane, shooting a couple jump shots.
Stoudemire on the bench for the Phoenix Suns. Hunter is in there on Dampier, and Richardson tries to guard Nowitzki. That is a charge on Dirk Nowitzki.
And once again, it's been the Steve Nash show. He's 5 of 9 for 12 points. The rest of the team 8 of 25 with 5 turnovers. So Steve Nash is going to have to get some help here from his teammates. They're doing a nice job defensively. Dallas is only shooting 39%.
Nash right now leading the Suns in points with 12, rebounds with 7, and assists with 4. Shawn Marion. Leading inside, offensive rebound by Quentin Richardson. Dampier has just picked up his second personal foul tonight.
Well, the Suns are shooting 38%, Kevin, but one of the things that's keeping in the game right now, that was their 9th offensive rebound. They have 10 second chance points. You see Quentin Richardson getting inside of Marquise Daniel, the foul on Dampier. There's a chance now for the Suns to get their 11th and 12th points off second chance opportunities. That's keeping them alive right now while they're shooting so poorly.
And these two have kind of been a story as Nowitzki takes a look at Dampier, and I think that look says it all. Because remember, it was Nowitzki earlier in this series who was openly critical of Dampier's lack of aggression.
Stackhouse back in the game after a terrific run in the first quarter.
Here's Jason Terry.
Oh, wow, that's too easy there.
He just chiseled his way inside. It was too easy. That is a 2-point play and a 4-point Dallas lead.
You see, that's where Dampier did a nice job. He took that big body and sealed Stephen Hunter so he couldn't come over to block the shot. So it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but he did get Jason Terry that layup.
Steve Nash, Shawn Marion.
He is so quick. He goes to left every time. So when you play him, you got to make sure that you get on that hand and make him try to go back to his right.
Michael Finley. 1 of 4 start for Finley. Nash, who leads all scorers with 12. And his buddy Nowitzki guarding. That's a foul. And it's inside on Jason Terry. And you just saw he was outmatched by a bigger, stronger Quentin Richardson, number 1 on Jason Terry.
You did, Kevin. When Quentin Richardson was with the Clippers, he loved to post up down on that one block. He was so effective. With the Suns, they use him mostly as a 3-point shooter to spread the floor, so he really does not post very often.
Nash to Hunter. And that was a foul. Was it on Dampier? He was defending. And he has just picked. Now they're going to call it on Nowitzki for the second time. That is a relief for Avery Johnson. He's going to make a quick substitution here.
Right there is the foul. It will be Josh Howard coming back into the game. Probably to give Nowitzki a little bit of a blow. Nowitzki has 2 fouls. We'll see what Avery's thinking.
Stephen Hunter. Wow, that was a bad looking free throw.
Man, when you're struggling and you're a poor free throw shooter, the last thing you want to do is go to the foul line to try to get yourself going. You're going to see the look in his eyes right now. So desperately wanting some good things to happen. The plus-minus meter tonight. Again, second chance points is keeping Phoenix in this ball game. The fast break. They only have 4, but Dallas has none. That's a big shot for Stephen Hunter. You see him shaking his head. He and Barbosa must give them some good minutes. It can't be just come in and take up some space. They've got to give him some good minutes. So Mike D'Antoni can rest his starters some.
Mavericks have led by as many as 7. Suns had a big lead of 3. There was a Jackson foul on Stackhouse, who has been terrific since coming off the bench with his 11 points. Jackson picks up number 1.
That's a great matchup, though. 2 very strong players. Both guys love contact on that low block. Jerry Stackhouse loves the post. Jimmy Jackson's getting his body into him. So we'll watch that matchup to see if they try to go back to that once again.
Marion and Dirk Nowitzki. Smooth diving inside Nowitzki, who now has gone 2 of 5 with 6 points.
Maury Stoudemire's got to get his game going right now. He's got to emotionally get in this game. Something's got to happen here to get himself going. Right now, he's just sort of going up and down the floor, not playing with that same kind of fire and passion.
Dribbling violation on Howard. Only 1 of 5, Doug, is Stoudemire's offensive output so far.
Well, this is now where he's got to work himself into good things happening. You know, the ball's not necessarily coming his way because of what's happening in the half court. His activity can create opportunities. There's the double team. They're taking the ball out of his hands, but now he's got to get to the offensive backcourt.
This 3 by Richardson. Dallas is certainly running a lot of defenders at Stoudemire tonight. This is Jerry Stackhouse over Richardson, and Stackhouse has started 5 of 6.
Well, he was great in game 4, and he's even better tonight. So he started getting into a good rhythm. Did not shoot the ball well in the Houston series or the first 2 games of this series.
Richardson double teamed inside. Look at Howard again, getting his hand on the ball. It seems every time it goes in. The former ACC Player of the Year. And a timeout. Well, Dallas has got to win, because if they don't, they're going to have to win 2 in a row, including a Game 7 here on Phoenix's home floor. The Suns have got to win because they would face elimination if they don't in Dallas on Friday. With Dallas leading by 5 midway through the second. Time now for the Around the Gatorade Cooler Report with our Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Well, actually, the Dallas Mavericks are hoping to get this young man back. Keith Van Horn, who twisted his right ankle in the series against Houston in Game 3, has yet to play in this series. I was told by the team official on Monday he's been shooting around. Yesterday went through a full practice. He's still experiencing some difficulty on that right ankle, starting and stopping. Still has some lateral movement issues, but the targeted game is Game 6. In worst case scenario, or best case scenario, if the series goes to a Game 7, he will play in that game as well, guys.
Andrew Johnson would like to see his size. Doug, during that timeout, we have had a change and a foul. Earlier, Dampier was given a foul, which would have been his second. They have just changed it during our break. They put it on Marquise Daniels, so Dampier only has 1. That's the good news. The bad news is he only has 1 point in 15 minutes. Nash. Oh, nice pass inside to Sean Marion.
Oh, that's a great pass. Get the double team, kick it out of there quickly, and you get it to the right man, Nash, to make the play. Beautiful left-hand bounce pass to Marion.
Dallas has hit a couple of threes. Phoenix is at 4. Jackson on Stackhouse, and the shot clock is at 6. Wow, is he on fire? 6 of 7, 15 points.
That was good defense. That was just better offense. You know, Jerry starts going left. You know he's coming back right, so you got to lay on that right hand.
Marion, Jackson, Nash, Richardson, Stoudemire, the Phoenix 5. Stoudemire right into the teeth of Nowitzki's defense. And a good offensive rebound for Stoudemire.
That's a good play. You know, go right back at him once again. There you go.
Let's talk about this.
Energy. Make things happen, Kevin. Don't stand around and wait for it to come your way. You're too good. You're too talented.
Stackhouse, Howard, Nowitzki, Terry, and Finley, the Dallas 5. Howard.
Michael Finley's been very quiet since Game 2 in here. He had that big night. Had 5 of 6 threes. At that time, Michael Finley drops one.
His first field goal, Doug, since 7:03 left in the first quarter. Richardson sidesteps the defense well.
That's twice now we've seen that play on both sides of the floor. One a dunk. This time Steve Nash comes down. Jason Terry's fronting in the post, and Phoenix got into that so quickly there was no weak side help.
We've had 4 lead changes and 4 ties in this game. Nowitzki across the lane and right into Marion.
See, they're throwing the ball into the post so much more than they did to start this series.
Stoudemire. Even on makes, the Phoenix Suns will run. And now you can see some momentum building for Amari Stoudemire with the foul assessed inside on Michael Finley.
When you have this kind of talent, there's no defense they can set up to keep you from scoring. Just stay active, and that's what he's done the last 3 possessions. He missed a drive, he got his own rebound back, he drove in there, scored. This time coming down the floor, gets to the basket, gets the score and the foul. Kevin, he was shooting 16 free throws a game in the first 3 games. Shot 11 in Game 4, but tonight, it's only his 3rd free throw. That tells you his activity level. When he's not getting to that line a lot, he's not out there doing the things that he does best. He doesn't necessarily always have to have a play run for him. He's such a good player.
Dampier has come in for Michael Finley and Dirk Nowitzki. And he's now getting hot. Nowitzki is 4 of 7 with 10, 8 in this quarter.
I thought he was coming off his most efficient offensive game in Game 4. 9 of 15, 25 points. Made the game look very easy on Sunday afternoon.
And a strong 8 rebounds in that game. Stoudemire, 3 defenders around him. There's a foul. Doug, you put it so well. For a young player, it's got to be very difficult to get in the mindset of when things don't come easy, I've got to dig down a little bit deeper. And I think you've really explained it well with this kid in particular as Dampier picks up his second foul.
Well, when you're this talented, sometimes that talent can be a curse because the game is easy. And then you get some things taken away from you that you like to do best. And now you got to figure out what you have to do. And he's capable, you heard Charles Barkley, he's capable of having 20 rebounds. Now he can get 6 or 7 offensive boards and scores. He can get to the line. He can block shots. All this activity he brings then will create offense for him and his teammates. He can put his stamp on the game in so many different ways. It doesn't just have to be 35 points.
Stoudemire now with 9. Nash has been filling every category for the Suns with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. A game-high 15 for Dallas's Jerry Stackhouse.
The last 3 minutes here, very, very important to the Suns. They're hanging around. They don't want Dallas to have a little close where they can get this to double digits.
Jackson on stack. Rebound by Stoudemire.
See how he scored a couple baskets all of a sudden. He's rebounding now, running the floor. Here he comes once again.
Fed by Nash, who checked it inside beautifully by Dampier, his second. And Howard racing the other way for the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is answering every time the Suns have had a little run, little success.
Stoudemire 2 turnovers in a row.
There's a 4-on-2 with Nowitzki pulling up for 2.
Talk about that little run, Kevin. It was a 4-point game. It's now 6. Chance to possibly go to 8. Phoenix only has 4 fast break points tonight, and Dallas has turned the ball over 4 times, but Phoenix has no points off them, so there's been no extensive running game for the Suns tonight because the efficiency the Mavericks have played with on the offensive end.
Here's Stackhouse with a game-high 15. Into Nowitzki, who shoves the defense in and corkscrews his way around Stoudemire. And now Dirk has 12.
Lead is up to 8. Can Steve Nash find a way to get him a basket here? They need him to orchestrate a good last 2 minutes.
Dallas won game 2 of this series on this score. Stoudemire inside, doing what he does so well. Inside, scoring, clearing the way, and taking advantage of the defense on him. Stoudemire has 11. Dampier has just been tagged with his 3rd personal foul.
And all he did was move to the open area. Nothing spectacular there, counting on Steve Nash to find him, which he does. Now he's starting to work himself back into the game. He now has 11 points, going to get to the free throw line this for the 6th time. 4 of 10 from the floor, starting to get himself going again.
8 points in the second quarter. It was amazing. The biggest players on the floor. We just saw kind of a sulking Dampier trudge his way over to the Dallas sideline. The biggest players sometimes are the most sensitive players on the floor.
Well, that's why as a coach you've got to be able to know when to put your arm around them and try to encourage them because you need those big guys playing well. It's like the big linemen in football along the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Big men own the paint. That's where the game is won.
Well, that's your second half on reference tonight. Here's Stackhouse for 3. And look at the hustle of Sean Marion. And the creator Nash. Nash has 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 12 points. And into Howard.
That was a forced shot there by Steve. He could have got a little bit better than that one.
Phoenix now at 40% from the field. Doug told you before, 48% shooting for Dallas. Suns have a foul to give, and they launch that long 3 with Finley on the miss, and Finley has started 2 of 7. Nash. Richardson for 3. Stackhouse with an acrobatic catch, and he saves it for Dallas.
Notice how when Quentin Richards catches the ball, Kevin, they're running at him. They're forcing him to dribble the ball to shoot it, not letting him get those feet set. That's a scouting report. Make him dribble the ball.
That's a foul on Stoudemire way out. That'll be 3 free throws for Dirk Nowitzki. 3rd foul on Stoudemire to match the 3 on Dampier. We're talking about the sensitivity, and here is the big man Dampier and Avery Johnson. Doug, I want to jump on something you just said, how Dallas is running at Quentin Richardson when he's shooting that 3. We're talking about the #1 3-point defense in the NBA in Dallas in the regular season.
And really, when you look at it during the playoffs, that 3-point defense is sort of evaporated. In the regular season, Kevin, their opponents shot 33% from 3. In the playoffs, their opponents are shooting almost 43% from 3. That was, remember, the Houston series, the Phoenix series. So the 3-point defense has not been what it's been in the regular season. That was a huge foul. That was 3 on Amari Stoudemire. So now, not only is it 3 free throws, but your big man now picked up his 3rd foul with only 19 seconds, a little under 19 seconds to go in the half. Those are costly plays.
3 free throws by Nowitzki because he was taking a 3-point shot. Both teams have taken 10 free throws tonight. Suns have made 6, Mavs have made 7. Now 8. And no fouls to give either way.
So they could play this screen roll different with Stephen Hunter being in the game rather than Stoudemire. They could be much more aggressive on Nash. They just switch it and let Nowitzki play him.
Nash for 3. Rebound by Dallas, which will tie the rebounding in the first half at 27 apiece. That's about as good as Dallas can play for one half on the road in a pivotal game 5.
Playing a very poised game. They're taking their time. They're finding the hot man. They're moving the basketball. They've turned the ball over only 4 times. They've allowed Phoenix to only get 4 fast break points. So the only thing right now, if I'm Avery Johnson, I talk about those second chance points, 13-2. Other than that, he has to be very happy with the first half.
Welcome back to game 5. Best of 7 Western Conference semifinals. Dallas on top. Great to have you with us tonight with Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan, and we talk about blueprints all the time for success. Looks like Dallas followed their blueprint to perfection in that first half.
Well, they were very patient. They didn't turn the ball over. They got good shots. Avery Johnson has to be very happy right now. Dampier, even though he didn't have a field goal, his presence was made inside. Stackhouse came off the bench, played very nicely. Josh Howard and Nowitzki played very, very good basketball. So right now, Dallas is in a nice rhythm, and Phoenix is in trouble.
Jerry Stackhouse leads all scorers with 15. That's off the bench, 6 of 9 from the field.
Well, he is a very explosive player. This is why they got him, to come in to give them offense. Steve Nash did his job, 12 points, 9 assists, and how about 8 defensive rebounds? I'm sure Charles and Kenny would like to hear that, but Steve Nash has as many defensive rebounds as Stoudemire and Marion combined, which is going to be important in the second half. And this is the critical foul. Dampier, yes, picked up his 3rd, but that went on Stoudemire with 18.8 seconds to go, fouling a 3-point shooter. Extremely costly. And again, Dallas, when they shoot over 45%, very rarely ever lose. Second chance points, that's the one area Avery Johnson has to be concerned about. Phoenix 13-2 there, points off turnovers for Dallas, bench points plus 12 for Dallas, and that knockout 3-point shooting in the games that we've seen for Phoenix. When Phoenix has won the 2 games in a series, they've been plus 51 from the 3-point line in the 2 games. Tonight they only have 1 more 3, so they're only plus 3 in that area.
And we go to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Kevin and Coach D'Antoni thought that his team in the first half played on the back of their heels. He said, we were a little too tense and need to relax. He said in the second half he would like to see the team better utilize their pick and roll. Now, as far as an injury update, it comes from the official Steve Javie. 10 days ago, strained his left calf. He felt it pull in the second quarter, and stepping in is the ultimate official, Jess Kersey. Guys?
That's the closer for tonight. We always have the closer. They're bringing Jess in to close this game tonight.
Well, nothing against Jess, but Steve Javie might be the best official in the business in this NBA, and so, but they don't lose much with Kersey, and they're a longtime veteran, and here we go. Starting the second half, this is Jimmy Jackson. Quick foul, count it for 2. It's inside on Josh Howard of the Dallas Mavericks, and it looked like he took a shot to the midsection.
This is going to be a half that Phoenix has to play for their playoff life. This is a nice strong drive by Jimmy Jackson, the block, the chance for the three-point play, and it looks like Josh Howard still down on the floor. Maybe got a knee to the midsection and maybe had the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully it'll be nothing more than that.
Jimmy Jackson completes the three-point play. Howard is still in the game after getting hit below the belt. And he is out there with Finley, Dampier, Terry, and Dirk Nowitzki will try to set a screen. Michael Finley over Marion.
A little miscommunication that time. Jimmy Jackson and Sean Marion. Jimmy Jackson thought that help was coming from one side. He pushed him that way, and no one there to help at all.
It's Nash across the lane with the deceptive fake on Howard, who hit it.
He is in such a good rhythm right now offensively.
Jackson, Richardson, Nash, Stoudemire, Marion, the Phoenix 5. Nash, 14 points. They got the switch, and Dampier was defending after the screen by Stoudemire, who grabs the offensive rebound. And into the 3-foul, Dampier. And Dampier's got the rebound.
But you can see his big body prevented Stoudemire from getting where he wanted to get on the floor. He just sort of muscled, and there's a carry. So it's back-to-back turnovers now for the Dallas Mavericks after having only 4 in the entire first half. It'll be a quick entrance of Jerry Stackhouse here to start this third period. Only a minute and a half being played. Avery Johnson didn't like something.
Pass, Nash to Richardson.
That's 3 times now we've seen that play. 2 dunks for Quentin Richardson and 1 layup. So good eye contact. That's 10 assists now for Steve Nash.
He's got 10 and 14 points. He's 2 rebounds away from a double-double.
Listen to this crowd. They're finally getting in the game. The sun's giving them something to cheer about.
Nowitzki, and fouled as he shot. And Marion picks up the foul. Assist number 10 coming up here for Steve Nash.
Look at the eye contact. That play was just strictly 2 players looking at each other and saying, look, I can go to the basket. Quentin Richardson again, that's 6 points he's got like that tonight. So all 3 of his field goals have been post-ups, either rolling out for a dunk or a layup. He does not have any 3-point shots tonight.
You alluded to this just a second ago. Howard is out. They have brought in Stackhouse very quickly with less than 2 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, there's something got to be wrong there with Josh Howard as Nowitzki misses the free throw. Remember, he took that hard shot from Jimmy Jackson on the drive.
Nowitzki from the free throw line, 5 of 7. It's 15 tying Stackhouse's 15 to lead all scorers. Nash. Oh, Stoudemire wasn't even looking.
Well, see, Nash fumbled that ball, so at the last minute, instead of shooting it, he tried to pass it.
Jason Terry.
As Nash went up to shoot that ball, Kevin, it slipped out of his hands. Uh-oh.
Look at that. Amari Stoudemire with Nowitzki falling down. And Stoudemire's 15th dunk of this series.
When you score against Phoenix, you can't celebrate. You better get your track shoes on and sprint back to the other end. That's about 3 times now we've seen him counteract an easy 2 with a quick 2 on the other end.
Dampier. I don't know where he was going with that pass. Here comes Nash. Into Terry. Defended well. Out of bounds. And Dallas will get it back.
Watch how quickly they score now. Inbounds, throw it up the sideline. Nowitzki tries to go for the steal. He dunks it with 21 seconds on the shot clock. That took 3 seconds to get a dunk for Stoudemire.
The shot clock is down to 7 for Jerry Stackhouse.
He hadn't even hit the rim tonight.
7 of 10.
See, Finley now is guarding Nash because Howard is hurt. Finley cannot guard Steve Nash. So the importance of Howard getting hurt, you see him going back to the locker room. Michael Finley is big enough to bother him, but he does not have the quickness, so Nash can get wherever he wants to get on the floor. They do not want to have Jason Terry guard Steve Nash. So we'll see if Nash now gets in the lane and creates a lot of opportunities with Finley playing against him.
Finley picks up number 2. Nash at the free throw line, where he is making his first trip tonight. That might surprise some people.
Mavericks still shooting 49%. So Phoenix is going to have to stop changing baskets here, Kevin. At some point in time, there's got to be a skirmish 4 or 5 minutes where you get some defensive stops and some rebounds.
Nowitzki over Marion. Marion altered the shot. Good catch by Dampier. Shot clock is at 6. And here's Jason Terry. Dirk Nowitzki.
Feel Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki pick and pop there that we saw for about 4 years in Dallas. That's where Nowitzki really misses Nash.
Nash going inside, and Stoudemire couldn't handle the pass. Here's a 3-on-2. Stackhouse inside Finley. And out of bounds. Phoenix's ball.
Now Michael Finley very upset with himself. Tried to reverse dunk that ball, just could not get the elevation. It's a big turnaround right there. It looked like Dallas might get a run and a layout, and see him catches it on the rim there, and then the ball is knocked off of Dallas. So 2 points go away from Dallas, and a chance now for Phoenix to cut back into this lead.
Nash scoops it home.
See, Michael Finley just cannot stay with him. It's a tough task to ask him as a 6'6", basically small forward, big guard to try to guard Nash.
They bring in Armstrong. Jason Terry, who has quietly had a good game tonight. He's got 10 points, 5 of 10 from the field. This is Amari Stoudemire. Right into Dampier.
Amari Stoudemire, the one thing he's got to be very careful about is an offensive foul. Having 3, he's got to make sure he stays under control.
Jackson is on Stackhouse. Dampier had it, but Stoudemire grabs it, and Phoenix can take their first lead since the first quarter. For the lead, Marion. Where Stoudemire is all over that low post area.
Well, that's what he should do. Will himself to victory. This is where young players grow up. This is a must-win game for Phoenix. I know it's only the 5th game, but they do not want to lose tonight and go have to win game 6 in Dallas in front of that crowd.
Stackhouse to Dampier, foul on Richardson, who picks up his 3rd personal foul for the Phoenix Suns.
That's a good foul, though, even though he does pick up that foul and is his 3rd. You don't want to let Dampier dunk the basketball. He's 0 of 6 from the game. He does have 10 rebounds, but you want to make him have to make free throws.
So Dampier making his 2nd trip with a point and 10 rebounds in 21 minutes. And the 3 fouls. Great players, great games, and great coverage. The world champion Boston Red Sox take on the Atlanta Braves. Catch the series all weekend long on TBS.
See if Quentin Richardson can shake loose for a 3 here, Kevin. That'd be really big if they can find a way. Hasn't made any 3-point shots to find him and tie this game up.
Nash, who now has a triple-double with that last rebound. Offensive rebound by Richardson. Here comes Marion right into Nowitzki. Nice deflection inside by Cherry Stackhouse. And Stackhouse the other way. Michael Finley over Jackson. Dampier tried to get a hand on it. Rebound by Stoudemire. He's got 9. Nash. Richardson. By Amari Stoudemire.
Just hustle. That's just great hustle by the young guy.
They're tied at 65. 5th tie of the game. That's a foul. And Nowitzki got poked in the eye, and that speaks for itself.
Oh, you can see right there the ball goes up. It's hard to see exactly. Let's take a look here, see if we can see it. You see it right in the left eye. One eye injury's already dramatically changed this series. Joe Johnson. Dirk Nowitzki is down, and I'm sure the people in Dallas right now are holding their collective breaths. You see Joe Johnson, who had remember the breakaway dunk, Jerry Stackhouse made a clean contesting on it, but it fractured eye socket. He's been out. And now Dirk Nowitzki lies on the floor. We come back. Let's hope that it's nothing serious. Johnson, I think it would be amazing if Phoenix could win this series without Joe Johnson. As shorthanded as they are, I think it would be an incredible accomplishment for the Suns.
Because we know the bench of Dallas is very long and very good. It's Jason Terry over Nash. Rebound by Stoudemire. And he is fouled. It looked like Jason Terry bumped him and was tagged with the foul.
Kevin, how about points in the paint tonight? 40 for the Suns, 18 for the Mavericks, plus 22 points in the paint. Second chance points, 15 for Phoenix, only 4, so plus 11. So they are dominating the inside. What they're not getting is their normal three-point shooting. That's why they don't have a big lead in this game.
Phoenix hunting for their first lead since the first quarter. And they got it right there with Steve Nash. First lead since 8:18 of the first quarter.
He's just working himself to uncontested shots. Kevin, those are 12-foot uncontested shots. Dallas has got to keep pursuing on those screen rolls. The guard is stopping.
Dallas has missed their last 5 shots from the field. And the shot clock here at 5 for Stackhouse. 8 of 12.
Well, they're going to that anytime there's a switch. Jerry Stackhouse is going right into the post with a smaller player and punishing him. Look at this, that's a 15-footer.
Stoudemire set a screen. They have to switch defensively for Dallas.
Del Harris is talking to Avery Johnson. I mean, you can't give Steve Nash that shot. You might want to make him shoot the ball, but not uncontested at 12 feet.
Nash has during the quarter. Very miss for Stackhouse. Here comes Nash. Trying to up and back in an errant pass and a 3-on-1 with Terry to Josh Howard, who is back in after getting looked at in the locker room. And Dirk Nowitzki is walking back out onto the floor. Sean Marion getting an assist from Amari Stoudemire. Boy, the pace of the second half is something else.
Which favors Phoenix. You heard Charles Barkley say at halftime they can't win a slow game. All of a sudden now the pace starts to favor them. They get up over 100 points in this building. They're going to be tough to beat.
Shot clock at 4. Over Marion, Josh Howard. Rebound by Stoudemire.
Dallas holding the ball now. You heard Avery Stoudemire earlier talk about moving the basketball. Stop playing one-on-one.
It's Nash again. Oh, and Nash is fouled as he goes inside. And that ball is belted out of bounds, and a technical foul has been assessed.
Was that Josh Howard that punched that ball?
There were so many players in that pile you couldn't see, but I'm assuming it is. And Doug, you've talked about this before. He loses his cool. He's got a very quick temper.
The game is too important to give up points like that. Watch what happens here now. There's no question. When Nash does a smart job, he gets himself into it's like a volleyball spike. You can't make these plays on the road. The series is 2-2.
Nowitzki's going to check back in. Nash will be at the line to shoot the technical. And Cheryl Miller, what do you have?
Well, Jimmy Jackson poked Dirk Nowitzki in his left eye. Just a few minutes ago, he was icing the left eye, a little bit of swelling, but good news, he's back on the floor for the Mavs, guys.
That's one of those things like when you get into a heavyweight fight and a guy gets thumbed and his eye swells shut. I mean, that's the one thing they've got to prevent here is his eye closing with swelling, then all of a sudden he can't see to shoot the basketball. So that ice for preventative measures there to keep that eye open. You can see the bruising and the swelling. Looks like over his eyelid there's a deep bruise.
A little bit of blood building up there, looks like.
Remember how quickly Joe Johnson's had swelled the other night when he had that fracture. So Obviously, that eye is so vital to the player. I'm surprised guys don't get poked in the eye more often. Where as active as hands are, and guys being in crowd, and the ball, guys reaching. With 6-8 sets of hands out there going for the basketball.
Avery Johnson is in the ear of Josh Howard. He's so animated on that sideline. Just seconds ago.
Poise. Playoffs are about poise, under pressure. You got to channel that emotion in all the right ways. I mean, Josh Howard had a brilliant game tonight. They need him. They need his defense. They need his rebounding, his passion, but you got to channel it.
Steve Nash has his first career playoff triple-double. 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Nowitzki back in, 6 of 11. And a foul. And Quentin Richardson was defending on the play and is hit with his fourth. That's to the chagrin of the Coach of the Year, Mike D'Antoni.
All right, now Phoenix is going to go to their bench. That's Quentin Richardson sitting down now with 4 fouls. Barbosa's in the game. Let's watch what happens out. He's got to come in and be a positive force. He's really the only guy that plays off their bench. He has to give them quality minutes.
It's Stackhouse to the rack around Jimmy Jackson. Dallas is shooting 45%. The Suns are shooting 43%. Nash again.
I have no idea what Dallas is trying to do on that screen roll right now, but Nash is just punishing them. They're going to have to make a decision. They can't let him just get in the lane and shoot the ball like that.
He's got 27, Doug, and 15 have come in this third quarter.
He's got 11 assists and 11 rebounds, so he's playing the entire game tonight. Not just the points, but he has assists, the rebounds, the whole thing. Look at this shot.
Nowitzki from 3, and Marion defended it well.
Well, Dallas has come discombobulated right now as Phoenix has picked up their level of defense. Watch what happens here. Nash is getting in the lane. This is a little runner at the dotted line. We've seen 3 or 4 jump shots. They're going to keep going back to the same play until Dallas stops it. Look where he's getting on this. I mean, this is a little running jump shot that he's taking, actually.
Dallas led at halftime by 7. Now they trail by 5. Approaching 2 to play in the third quarter. It's Stackhouse again, Jackson defending.
A lot of standing around now. Look at that clock. This is not the same team we saw in the first half.
Nowitzki fouled. Jackson got it. Watching Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals on TNT. The series is tied at 2 apiece. Dallas led by 4 at the end of 1, by 7 at halftime. And the Suns getting their first lead of the game since the mid-stages of the first quarter in this third quarter. They've led by as many as 5. Dallas has led by as many as 8. We've got Dirk Nowitzki at the free throw line. The 27 points by Steve Nash leading all scorers. Nash has a triple-double.
And Jimmy Jackson rubbing that right knee. It looked like he took a knee. They can ill afford to lose him now. That bench is getting so thin. Kevin, though, these last 2 minutes of this quarter are so important for Phoenix. They're so much better when they can play from ahead. And I'm sure Dallas is going to try to put the pressure on here to finish this quarter. All the quarters have been to Dallas. It's been 12-4 combined the last first quarter and the second quarter. So they have done a good job closing out the quarter.
It's Barbosa for 3. Offensive rebound by Sean Marion as Phoenix has put together a 50+% third quarter shooting. Marion barely closes the rim. Barbosa comes up with that ball hit the rim. They didn't reset the shot clock. Terry 2-on-1. Stackhouse and Nowitzki with the great trail. Dallas. Just like that, Dallas to within a point. Nash.
That's one of those passes he made in Game 4 where he got into congestion and tried to force it when it wasn't there. That's why he had 9 turnovers. So Dallas has a chance to go right back into the lead.
Nash has 3 turnovers tonight. Nowitzki doubled. Nice ball rotation. Stackhouse for the lead. Tap by Dampier. Claimed by Terry. Lost it to Nash. 3-on-1. Nash. Again a bad pass, Doug.
He got hung in the air that time. He's got to take that shot.
Here he goes with the 3. And a Dampier rebound. Dampier's got 13 rebounds. There are no fouls to give either way. Terry's got 10.
Jason Terry thought he got hit on the elbow. He's going to mess around and get a tackle. Got to get back on defense.
And Jackson for 3. Stackhouse in there digging it out. Terry gets it. In the final seconds, and Dallas can take a lead going into the fourth quarter if they hit right here.
Well, Stackhouse going to isolate at the top. You got to force him to his left. He wants to go right. Jimmy Jackson's got to make him go left. Oh,
and he got the foul. Jackson bites. The 34-year-old veteran. That'll be a 2-shot situation for Stackhouse as Jackson is hit with his 4th personal foul of the game for Phoenix.
Everything except he left his feet. Forced Jerry to pick up his dribble, then leaned in. You don't have to worry about blocking the shot there. Just get your hand up. Now that we've seen Stoudemire foul a 3-point shooter at the end of the half to give Nowitzki 3 free throws. There's Jerry Stackhouse. So that's 5 free throws fouling jump shooters at the end of quarters. See, those are all little things, Kevin. It's a 1-point game.
Right.
You add those things up, and those come back to haunt you in the playoffs.
Finley and Terry have just checked out. Armstrong and Marquise Daniels have come in for Dallas in the final 9/10 of a second to play in this third quarter. Not plenty of time, but there is legal time to get a shot away.
Phoenix had actually pushed the lead to 5. They've gone from 7 down to 5 up. And now they're going to go in.
Barbosa.
1 down. Fighting for their playoff life right now, Kevin. It's going to be the biggest 12 minutes of the Phoenix Suns season. 12 minutes to try to get this to 3-2, their favor going to Dallas.
Dallas is led at the end of every quarter by 1 here as we go to the 4th with Doug Collins and Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. One of the reasons why they have led at the end of every quarter is because they have closed out the quarters so well tonight.
Well, you know, little things. You say, well, 4-0, that doesn't mean much. 8-4, that's not much. 6-0, you add it up, that's 18-4. So that's 14 points at the end of quarters in a 1-point game. That's why it's so vital. You don't foul jump shooters. You don't turn the ball over. You get good shots. And again, right now, the Phoenix Suns, you don't want to make anything too dramatic, but 12 minutes right now. They have to do whatever is necessary to get this win tonight. And Dallas wants to continue to play with the poise. They got themselves back in the game after they fell down by 5. How about Steve Nash? 13 rebounds. His previous career high playoffs was 7. 13 defensive rebounds.
And that's on the heels, that triple-double of a 48-point performance in Dallas on Sunday in Game 4. Marion takes it away from Nowitzki. Marion, Stoudemire, Richardson, Jackson, Barbosa. That is the Phoenix 5.
And how long can the Suns go without Steve Nash?
Phoenix has missed their last 6. Marquise Daniels is in with Stackhouse, Nowitzki, Dampier, and Armstrong. That is the Dallas 5 to start the 4th. Barbosa, Sean Marion for 3. Rebound Dampier, a playoff career high, 14 rebounds with the whistle inside. And the Suns, we talked about missing shots, now have missed their last 12 3-point shots in this game, and so they are consequently 4 of 17.
Again, Kevin, that's been their lifeblood all season. They have shot the 3 so well, and tonight that 3 isn't going. In the 2 games that they've won in this series, they were plus 51 from the 3-point line. Tonight, that is not the case. They're only plus 3 points.
Walter McCarty has come in for Richardson, who just picked up, as you saw, his 5th personal foul. Marquise Daniels inside the Dampier, who has scored 2 points. Now Nowitzki. And Stoudemire with the rebound. The Phoenix Suns in rebounding tonight are plus 9. That is very important in the words of Mike D'Antoni, their coach. Jackson.
You can see Jimmy Jackson's going to handle the basketball now with Nash out of the game. They're going to put Barbosa off the basketball. Finley now being played Barbosa. Let's see if they try to go into the post.
How about the Suns inside tonight, Doug? Plus 26 points in the paint.
It's amazing. Here's the matchup they want. Finley's got to take his time and just go up and shoot the basketball.
Rebound by Jackson on the Finley miss.
Barbosa took the challenge. If he'll take that challenge, Suns got a great chance to win this game.
Jimmy Jackson right there. Couldn't get it to go, but he gets his own miss, and he puts it in for the Phoenix Suns. And now Phoenix leads it by 3.
Well, Dallas screen roll defense has not been very good tonight. Everybody's getting right into the lane, Kevin. That leads to second shots if you miss.
Stackhouse, and the rebound by Stoudemire, claiming his 14th rebound with 18 points. Stoudemire.
Of this, Steve Nash is resting. How about when you have those big hands, you can hold the ball, you can get the contact, you can hang and make a spectacular play. This crowd feeds off this young guy's energy. 14 rebounds. Charles Barkley said he needs 20 defensive rebounds tonight. He has 14 total rebounds.
Phoenix has started the fourth quarter 7-0 over Dallas.
And again, Nash is sitting on the bench. What an incredible little run here by the Suns to let him get some much-needed rest.
Clear, deflected by Barbosa. Or was it deflected maybe by McCarty?
Mike D'Antoni was telling his guys, don't go for a pump fake here at the end of this clock. They've done it twice.
Stackhouse with the miss. Jimmy Jackson.
With Steve Nash on the bench resting, it's been Jimmy Jackson handling the basketball, getting in the paint, the extra effort. Look at him getting to the teeth of the defense. He misses, just wants it a little bit more. Takes it away, scores. The spinning move, the right-hand jump hook. It's been the Jimmy Jackson show here to start this fourth quarter. That's why the Suns went out and picked him up. His playoff experience. Remember, he was traded to New Orleans, did not show, did not report. Finally traded over here to the Phoenix Suns. Look at this 9-0 run. Dallas is 0-4 from the floor, 4 of 6 for Phoenix. And the emotion and passion, this is what you have to do when you have this home crowd. You have to feed off of it with energy plays.
Dallas to start this quarter has gone 0-4 from the field. Turnover 2. Terry, Barbosa jarred the ball free. Jackson, who's got 6 to start the fourth, into Barbosa.
Barbosa's just got to keep it simple, Kevin.
Josh Howard finding himself in a straight jacket, kicks it out to Jason Terry. Nowitzki 7 of 14, and now he's got 23, including 5 rebounds.
You can see the Phoenix bench telling Leandro Barbosa, just take your time. You don't have to do anything spectacular. Just make the simple play.
Jackson feeling it.
Yes, he is. I don't know why they're not trapping that pick and roll or doing something to keep it out of the middle.
Stackhouse at the other end. Knocked away by Marion. Dallas hit that shot moments ago that broke a drought of 4.5 minutes of nothing from the field.
Dallas is going to have to make an adjustment, though, defensively, Kevin, right now.
This is Nowitzki from Howard.
See if they go back to this screen roll once again with Jimmy Jackson. They've been able to get in the lane at will with this. This time it's going to be Barbosa and Marion.
Phoenix at 43% now from the floor for the game. McCarty, Sean Marion, one rebound after another. And Nowitzki grabs it right there. Dallas at 43%, and below that magic 45 percentile you were talking about, Doug.
When they shoot under 45%, they're 0-4 in the playoffs. They've not won yet when they shot the ball poorly. That's why they have to shoot the ball so well. Jason Terry hits the jumper. Mike D'Antoni's going to take a timeout, and I'm sure he wants to get Steve Nash back in the game. He's ridden this team about as long as he can.
And Kevin and Doug, I asked Jimmy Jackson what was so appealing about Phoenix. He said, Cheryl, bottom line, at the age of 34, the last thing I wanted to do was start over in my career. He said, what's ironic, out of the 5 or 6 teams that called, Phoenix wasn't one of them. At the last hour they called, I felt it was a golden opportunity to play, and so far he's making the most. In the first half, 3 points. In the second, 11 points alone, guys.
Interesting third foul on Terry. Credit Brian Colangelo, who's spearheading that, who, by the way, before the game was awarded the Sporting News NBA Executive of the Year. He's the one who pulled the trigger.
Yeah, congratulations.
Nash to Stoudemire. Very nice pick and roll.
There's that little bounce pass that we've seen throughout the series. Phoenix just slicing and dicing Dallas now on this pick and roll, getting in the lane. That's 58 points in the paint for the Suns.
It's Jason Terry for 3. Dallas is 3 of 12 from three-point territory. Nash. And the foul goes on Jason Terry, and he is hit with his 4th foul tonight for the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, Avery Johnson agonizing over Steve Nash, and just the array of shots that we have seen from him throughout this series. Kevin, the shots that he made the other day to go to 48 points, but tonight, I don't care about the points, the assists. How about 13 defensive rebounds? The Suns tonight have 19 offensive rebounds. That's will and determination. They got pounded the last 2 games. They gave up 40 offensive rebounds. Tonight, the Mavericks only 9.
Second chance points heavily in favor of Phoenix tonight. Nowitzki to Howard. Dancing with McCarty. Shot clock at 4. By Terry. Defended by Marion. Picked up by McCarty. It's Nash. Marion. Jackson.
When the Suns play defense, even in stretches, they can run. You can't run taking the ball out of the basket. Now they're getting some stops, Kevin. Oh!
This by Stackhouse. And out of bounds.
That's beautiful basketball. The ball did not even touch the floor. Outlet pass to Nash. Jumps up, throws the ball over to Marion, kicks it into Jimmy Jackson. How about what Jimmy Jackson has done here in this 4th period? He has been the catalyst of this run, but it's all started with the Suns' defense.
McCarty picked up his 1st foul. This is Nowitzki with now 25 points, missing right there. Tuning to catch the action is the WNBA season tip-off on ABC. Lisa Leslie in the Los Angeles Sparks. And Seattle is Sue Bird, the defending champion, Seattle Storm. It's Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC.
Now, the Suns are the kind of team, Kevin, they will let you back in the game. They'll go through some stretches where they'll take some shots, so Dallas still plenty of time.
Suns have outscored Dallas in this 4th, 18-7. Good on McCarty. Rejected by Dampier. And cleaned up nicely by Amari Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire now 25 points, 16 rebounds. Energy, hustle, determination.
Jason Terry. And he's got 14. More on Stoudemire, 25 and 16 rebounds. And the rebounds ties his playoff high. Nash has got a triple-double. First of his playoff career. Nice pass to Stoudemire. Dampier picks up the foul.
What is
number 4 on him?
See, the Suns, 80% of their offense is screen roll. So when you play against them, you have to make a determination. What are you going to take away? Tonight, they're taking away Dallas the 3-point shooting. So the Suns have 64 points in the paint of their 96 points tonight.
The Suns have outscored Dallas in the 4th quarter, 20-9. They lead by 10. And before the game, we mapped out the blueprint to Phoenix's success tonight in Game 5.
Well, we talked about when Dallas does not shoot 45%. They've not won in the playoffs tonight. 43%, only 36% in the second half. 3 of 13 from 3. The Suns have 12 fast break points in the second half. And the recipient of that has been Amari Stoudemire. He and Marion now 55 and 29, but Stoudemire in the second half has 2 dunks and 8 layups actually for the game. So he has activity, getting out and running. He has 13 second-half points, but he's getting to the basket, all created by the Suns' defense. Kevin, they're not going to be mistaken for the Detroit Pistons or the San Antonio Spurs. But tonight they've played well enough to create opportunities so they can run. Nash is delivering the ball, and they're getting big-time performances from their other teammates.
Nash has a game-high 30. Terry to Howard out there with Stackhouse, Nowitzki, and Finley. That is the Dallas 5, Nowitzki. And Terry gets it with a fresh shot clock. Nash, Stoudemire, Marion, McCarty, and Jackson. Richardson is on the bench with 5 fouls for Phoenix. A 3 by Stackhouse coming at a good time.
Still just a 9-point game. Almost 5 minutes to go.
Dallas admits their last 7 3-point attempts. Nash. Oh, and Stoudemire just blew out the defense of Terry that was scheduled to cover Nash.
That's a wide-open 15-footer. He's a pro. He's going to make 70% of those shots.
Stackhouse has 26. He and Nowitzki lead Dallas. That's a foul. Jackson was defended. So we know Richardson's got 5, and now Jackson has got 5 for Phoenix.
Well, you can see what's happened is they're coming off those screens. Actually, it was a double screen that Nash came off. Dirk Nowitzki was the second defender, and he laid way back there and allowed Nash just to come off and shoot that 15-foot shot. Dallas playing a lot of one-on-one basketball now.
There's a foul on Sean Marion. You better watch out and control his anger as Nash tries to calm him down. There's Mike D'Antoni upset. 3rd foul on Sean Marion. It's interesting. Earlier in the game, we heard Avery Johnson and Del Harris say, play one-on-one basketball. Play one-on-one basketball during one of their timeouts.
Well, I think what he meant was we want Phoenix playing one-on-one basketball, not Dallas, because Dallas is at their best. If you heard the rest of that, Kevin, he said, we're at our best when we move the basketball from side to side. You want to throw the ball in the post, but you don't want to get caught standing around, because that's when Phoenix's defense can be pretty good. You got to keep them moving.
My point is that's exactly what Dallas has been caught doing, playing what they don't want. Here's Nowitzki at the line. Nine of 12. Nowitzki from the stripe. 27 points.
You can see Phoenix, as their defense has gotten better, they've been able to get high percentage shot. Look at Nash again right here. I mean, that's a 12-footer. And Avery Johnson cannot be happy with that.
Terry again. Howard for 3.
Guess what they're going to run again here, Kevin? If you don't stop, now they're switched, so they got Nash, and now he finds Stoudemire rolling. So that time they switched it, and Nowitzki got out there quicker. And what Nash do? He threw the ball right to Stoudemire, rolling down the lane against a smaller player.
And that was Finley, and Finley picks up his 3rd foul.
So once they switch it here, watch Stoudemire. He's the second screener. So now he's got Finley on him, and they're going to throw the ball inside and punish the smaller player. So now you pick your poison. You try to stop Nash, he gets the ball inside.
Amari Stoudemire is now 8 of 10 from the free throw line. 10 in the quarter, 28 for the game.
Steve Nash in the last 2 games right now, we still have about 3:30 to go here, has 33 field goals on 53 attempts.
And 82 combined points. Finley for 3. Michael Finley hit the Mavericks' first basket of the second half. Finley has been scoreless since. Doug, 3 of 11 for Michael Finley.
Well, if Phoenix goes on to win this game, Mike D'Antoni's going to look back to the first 5 minutes of that quarter, the 4th quarter, with the play of Jimmy Jackson, the lift he gave this team. So Steve Nash could rest. So now Nash is coming in to close the deal with fresh legs. And that's what you have to have happen. You've got to let Nash rest a little bit. He's doing so much. He's got 13 defensive rebounds.
No turnovers for Phoenix, Doug. A very clean 4th quarter. But the game had gone away. For the fourth quarter, they've been very good in protecting the ball. Finley against Richardson playing with 5 fouls. Jackson also playing with 5 fouls and just gave some token defense to the drive of Howard.
Dallas still plenty of time if they can get 2 or 3 defensive stops in a row and score.
Jackson, that's a 3-point shot, and Jim Jackson has had a terrific second half. 19 for the game and 13 in this fourth quarter.
In the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when they were down with a pivotal point. Once again, Sean Marion in the air. That's the 3rd time we've seen Nowitzki pump fake in the air and either get Marion to foul him twice. But Amari Stoudemire is a young player who has such an upside ahead of him. And right now, when he gets a few baskets, it really propels the other parts of his game. And that's what happened tonight. He got a few scores, and all of a sudden he's running, he's rebounding, he's blocking some shots.
Phoenix is shooting 56% from the field in this fourth quarter, and no turnovers. Jackson with 3 to shoot. Jimmy Jackson.
Well, as good as Stackhouse has been off the bench with 26, Jimmy Jackson, 21 points.
And 15 in this fourth quarter. Nowitzki for 3. Stoudemire reeling in his 17th rebound.
Charles Barkley, I'm sure, smiling back in the studio. He loves when those power forwards rebound the basketball.
Knocked away, saved by Nowitzki, out to Jason Terry. Stackhouse for 3 and uncovered.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse, 29 points. He has been terrific. 11 of 21 from the floor.
The only bench scoring that Dallas has had tonight, the 29 of Stackhouse.
29 to 3 bench. Not been a factor tonight, though.
Stackhouse draws the foul. Hugging Stoudemire inside the congested lane. That's the first against Stack. And they'll put Amari Stoudemire at the free throw line.
The ebbs and flows of playoff games. After game 4, doom and gloom. Phoenix was in trouble. Dallas was pounding them inside. They had figured out Phoenix screen roll. They were going to make Nash do all the scoring. You know, it's amazing just how the alarm bells go off in the playoffs when you lose one game.
Playoff games tomorrow. Pistons at Pacers, ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern. Spurs at the Sonics, 10:30 on ESPN. Detroit and San Antonio lead their respective series, 3 games to 2. Friday, Suns and Mavericks, game 6. Could be a closeout game for the Suns. Dallas, if they're going to get back in this, or as you take a look at the 8-point lead right now of Phoenix. But Dallas, if they lose, they'll have to win 2 games, Doug. Back-to-back games, one of which would be game 7 on this floor, where the home team in game 7s win about 85% of the time. As much as the Phoenix Suns have fed off the triple-double by Steve Nash, they've also fed off the emotional surge with the individual performance of Amari Stoudemire.
Well, his passion and the power he plays with, his team it just so energized him. And Kevin, look at the series. The points he scored on dunks, layups, and free throws. Game 4 was the only game really that they were able to take him out of the game. And tonight, there wasn't any plays run for him. He worked himself to a 31-point game with his rebounding, running the floor. And again, Kevin, we talked about in our open, when Phoenix defends enough to be able to get into the open court, they can run, and that guy is the guy who thrives on it more than anybody else, because there's not a big man in the league who can run with him. So just him sprinting the court for the entire night, eventually you look up, 31 points, 17 rebounds.
The Phoenix Suns are winning in every significant category, plus 36 points in the paint. The Suns are plus 11 in second chance points. The Suns have 5 more fast break points than Dallas. They've got 7 more offensive rebounds than the Mavs. And they've out-rebounded Dallas tonight by 13. That's Phoenix. Big numbers, Nowitzki. Stoudemire, rebound.
Well, you can see what Dallas has done. They said, you know, we're going to stay with shooters, and we're not going to give their three-point shooter shots. Tonight, Phoenix is 5 of 18, but they got into the paint for 66 points. So Dallas is going to have to think about maybe making the Suns have to make some jump shots under pressure.
Richardson with the miss. And even without Joe Johnson, who is thought to be, in many people's mind, the thing that went so well with this Phoenix success as a 3 is knocked in by Nowitzki. Jimmy Jackson tonight, the 34-year-old journeyman player, has come up with his best playoff game this year. 21 points, 5 rebounds when this Phoenix team has needed it most, especially to start the fourth quarter when they came in down by 1. There's a look at the West brackets as Phoenix tries to go up 3-2 on Dallas in Game 6 Friday at the American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas. That'll be on ESPN. San Antonio with the win last night over Seattle, up 3 games to 2. We talk about Amari Stoudemire, Doug, and you've been tracking him all season long, and especially in the playoffs, what he has done after having a subpar performance.
Well, Memphis geared up their defense the first game of the playoffs this year to stop him. They ran 2 or 3 guys at him. He had 9 points on 3 of 9 field goals. What was his response? Game 2, he comes back 2 games later with 34 points. Game 4 in this series, 3 of 8. They didn't give him any layups or dunks. Really was sort of taken out of the game. What's his response? He comes back tonight with 31 points and 18 rebounds. That shows you the young guy's got a competitive spirit and a fire that, you know, when he has a night like that, he's going to bounce back, and that's what he's done tonight. And Steve Nash, once again, has been brilliant.
Stoudemire pushed by Nowitzki. Don't count it. The foul was well before the shot was underway and concocted. That is the 4th foul on Dirk Nowitzki. And to finish up on Stoudemire, he has done that all season long. He has followed a bad game with a good game.
Well, you know, you young guys are going to have their ups and downs, and this guy is still a work in progress. His shooting has gotten so much better. The coaches, Phil Weber and Mark Ivoroni, both have worked with him. He now can go to that line. You know, the first 3 games of this series, he was averaging 16 free throw attempts a game. There's Mark Ivoroni, who on a daily basis really works with the low post players here in Phoenix. Phil Weber really has worked with Amari on his shooting. You can see his stroke looks pretty good now. Steps up the line, shooting that ball with confidence. And when he makes that 15-footer, he's unguardable.
Great fourth quarter performances tonight. Here is a 3-point shot by Jason Terry. Jackson lost it. Here's a 3 by Howard. Picked up by Marion and quickly fouled. I was saying, great fourth quarter performances tonight. Stoudemire had 15 points in the fourth quarter, 15 of Stoudemire's 33. And Jim Jackson in the fourth, 7 of 8, 15 points, 3 rebounds for the Suns in this fourth.
And with Joe Johnson being out, normally he's the backup point guard. With Barbosa being a little skittish, Mike D'Antoni said, you know what, Jimmy, you're going to handle the basketball. Man, that little surge he gave him to start the first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter was the difference in the game. There's Joe Johnson. I'm sure it is so hard for that young guy to sit there and watch. I know one year, Kevin, I was hurt in Philadelphia, hurt my knee, and the Sixers were playing the Lakers when Magic won the championship as a rookie, and I just sit there and watch. It is so hard not to be able to get out and play for your team, especially when you spend all season long working to get to this point.
Plus, if Phoenix advances, and we don't know if Johnson would be in the next series, which would be the conference finals, you'd have to wear a mask. Getting used to the mask takes you time, too. Ask Richard Hamilton about that up in Detroit. Armstrong watches it sail out of bounds in 0.6 of a second remain. Phoenix can close out the series in Dallas on Friday in what they called their most important game of the season. The #1 overall seed Phoenix Suns have defeated the Dallas Mavericks by 6. Nash with the triple-double. 33 and 18 from Stoudemire. And Jimmy Jackson, a terrific fourth quarter, finishing